Radical.
A lot of you have Amazon Prime, use Amazon Prime to get discounts on packages or to get the quick shipping versus regular shipping. But you might not know that Amazon Prime actually includes Prime Video. And there's some great stuff on Prime Video, some stuff I need to catch up on. And there's one thing I didn't believe until somebody told me was on Amazon Prime. Right now on Amazon Prime, without paying anything extra, legit, no extra cost, you can watch Creed 3 on Amazon Prime. Now, I was thinking to myself, when my friend told me, I'm like, okay, Creed 1 or 2, I get that, they're older movies. But Creed 3 just freaking came out, man. Didn't it just come out? I don't know. I mean, some of you might say, it came out 5-6 months ago. I don't know. It seemed like it just came out. But that's freaking awesome that Creed 3 is on Amazon Prime. I was meaning to go see it in the theater, but one thing that kind of kept me away, honestly, was the fact that Rocky Balboa is not in this one. So to me, I'm like, a Rocky movie without Rocky, or a Rocky kind of movie without Rocky, just doesn't seem like Rocky. I don't know. Like, some of you might not agree. Some of you might think the Creed movies stand on their own without Rocky, but to me personally, as a fan of the original Rocky movies, who isn't a fan of the original Rocky movies, it helps to have Sylvester Stallone in those movies. I forget the reasoning why Sylvester Stallone was not in this particular movie. It starts out in a weird way for a Creed movie. They're in South Crenshaw, they're in LA, and it's Creed as a little kid. It's Adonis, his little kid, maybe 10 years old, and his older friend, older half-brother, I forget. Sorry, I didn't follow the story a whole lot. I was mostly just there, for the fight scenes, for the boxing, as most people probably are for the Creed movies. But, there's a story there also. Starts out, and what happens is his older friend is really great at boxing. Really great at boxing, and he has aspirations to actually hit the big time. But they go to a liquor store, and what happens is, for some reason, there's somebody that Adonis just jumps on and pummels mercilessly. So the boys of that guy, try to get on Adonis, but his friend pulls a gun out. Then the cops happen to show up, and later on in the movie, it's revealed what happens. I don't want to reveal what happens, but that's the setup for this movie. And I'm not going to try to give a whole lot away, but this happens early in the movie, and it's the setup for the whole movie. Adonis is actually retired. He retired as champ, and there's a new champ. Chavez, I believe his name is. There's a new champ, and he's still there, training and whatnot. But he doesn't really do anything. He's just retired. He lives in a giant mansion, as most people would. You achieve everything you want to achieve, then you retire. And, there's no logical reason to get back into boxing if you've got all the money and you've got all the fame. You've got everything, basically. But what happens is his buddy just shows up out of the blue, leaning on his vehicle. And then he takes him to get something to eat. He says he hasn't had a good burger in a while. And then he decides to kind of bring him in to train him, and it'd be like, good old times. Again, I'm not going to give anything away from this movie that you probably haven't already figured out. At the end of the movie, you have a big fight between those two former bros, former friends. I'm not going to give away the whole setup to get there, but that's where you get to eventually. And I left out a big part of the plot, right? So his friend actually winds up going to jail. Adonis Creed does not. His friend goes to jail, goes away for almost 2 decades, and which seems excessive for what happens, but maybe I'm at a loss for actually what happens, why he goes to jail for such a long time. They kind of leave that out. I don't think anybody, I'm not going to give anything away from that particular moment, but it's kind of weird. It seems excessive for him to go away for 20 years. So most of the movie is basically, it's a setup going towards that finale. A lot of this movie, to be perfectly honest with you all, it just didn't resonate with me like the first and the second Creed. It seemed like, in a way, we already been down that road before. And in the original Rocky movies, it seemed different because I don't know. Maybe because it was fresher, maybe because it was newer. This Creed just didn't feel to me like a Rocky movie or a Rocky type movie. It just didn't feel like it. You know? Seemed like there was more focus on the family of Creed and his little daughter, and she was a sweetheart in the movie. She's a great little actress, great little kid actress. I think she might be entertaining in the future movies, and I think they might be setting up for a future movie to where his daughter actually might become a boxer. And that would keep with the lineage, to where it's always the sons going into boxing. But here's a different part: it's a female going into the boxing, which I have no issue with that per se. I mean, they could make a badass movie, kind of like. Well, I mean, there's one movie that I'm thinking of that has Clint Eastwood where it's kind of a depressing movie. So maybe that's not a good equation there. But I mean, that might be kind of different, right? They're going in a different direction. I mean, hey, there's a black type Rocky character. Hey, how about this? Maybe we have a female type Rocky character. Does it have enough to stand on its own? Is it a great movie? I don't know. I just personally wasn't feeling it. I don't know. And I love the first Creed. I like the second Creed. This one, actually, the thing I liked about the most was the acting of Dame, the other boxer. He had just really great facial expressions. You could kind of feel that he had that connection, with his former bro from the past. What was unique about this story is it was dealing with two former friends. And I like that aspect of it. I don't know if that had particularly been done in any Rocky type movie before, but I did like that. But the fact that I just watched it and there wasn't a whole lot of standout scenes, I don't know. I'm not really asking for a whole lot from a type of movie like this, but this one versus the other ones, it just did not resonate with me. I'm not sure about what this did in ticket sales. I'm not sure if this was a big hit, even though it didn't have Sylvester Stallone in it. Maybe that's why it's now on Amazon Prime. I'm not sure. I can't tell you. But this to me was just a slightly above average movie. I wasn't particularly feeling it. If I would have went out and actually paid to see it, I wouldn't be all that happy after I left the theater. I really wouldn't be. But for something that's on Amazon Prime, yeah, I think it's worth a watch. So my official Radical review is, worth a watch. Worth a watch.